So hello guys, and welcome to another Nintendo Direct prediction video, and at the time this is being published, the Nintendo Direct should be announced, and yeah, so we're gonna go through some predictions here from things that are likely to happen, some things that are somewhat likely, and some things that have a slight chance or are unlikely but don't have a 0% chance, just due to certain things. But yeah, Anton Retro is joining me once again. But yeah, let's go into this. So some of these are based on things that Pioro has said on Twitter. So we did take that into consideration. Though some of the things that he did say was up to interpretation. So some of the things that I mentioned are a little vague, but I do think they're worth mentioning. So the first thing on here is more information about games that we already know, like Mario RPG, with new footage, improvements to that original game, and additions. I feel like we could see some of that there, and if there are going to be like new amiibo figures and everything, which is something that I really want to see for Mario RPG with like Chino and Mallow.
Yeah, I think it'd be really nice to see those.
Yeah, I really hope they do that. I feel like, it kind of makes sense as it's on the same day as the, Splatoon 3 Idol amiibos. So, there's definitely a possibility that they'll do that. And it does seem like they are gonna do a bit more merch with Mario RPG, just probably due to how popular of a game, this was and everything. And now it is.
Really neat to see some more stuff.
Yeah,
about it.
because in Japan, they already announced like a couple little things in terms of merchandise that aren't even like pre-order bonuses, but like separate merchandise. There was like a wallet, I think they revealed over there based on Mario RPG. So I think that would be pretty interesting to see. And I am just really excited to see new footage of the game and everything. Like my profile picture on Twitter and Discord is Mario like flying away from the castle from the original trailer. So I'm just really looking forward to seeing like other characters from Mario RPG in 3D and HD. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I think it'll be an absolutely amazing game to experience, in this new form. So I'm like, really excited, and I can't wait to see
Yeah.
the character redesigns that they also go with.
Yeah. And then the next thing is Super Mario Bros. Wonder. We already got a whole wave of new information with the Super Mario Bros. Wonder Direct. So I don't think...
Really early too.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get too much info on Mario Wonder here, since we already do know a lot about the game. Though I do think they'll show something new, like a new mode or something like that. I feel like a new mode would make a lot of sense if they're gonna do something like a, some kind of like battle mode, like Mario versus Luigi mode, or like some kind of like coin rush thing. I think there's a possibility that they could do something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I do think that's actually really likely.
But yeah, if they're gonna do a short segment on Wonder, I think that's probably what they'll do with that.
Yeah,
So-
just something simple, just to acknowledge that the game is just coming out.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Maybe something small, but I think everything that they wanted to talk about was talked about in that direct. So,
Yeah. And then another thing is WarioWare Move It. So I feel like, other than like that trailer that we got and everything, we barely know anything about it other than the fact that it's a sequel to Smooth Moves.
yeah, I think it will actually get a really detailed thing. I think it will talk about how
Yeah.
Mario and the gang have gone on like a vacation or something. So it seems like it's what it's set in, like a vacation settings.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like they're gonna do. So they're probably gonna talk about kind of like the overall story of the game, setting, and then they're gonna talk about maybe some more mini games, maybe some of the other modes, and then that'll be pretty much it for it. I don't think there's
Yeah.
long on it though.
And it would also be interesting to see the new voice actor for Wario, because Charles Martinet actually isn't going to be in WarioWare Move It. So,
Yeah.
and one thing that I do hope that they'll do in WarioWare Move It is like cutscenes that are actually voiced this time, like they were in WarioWare Gold, because it was a weird in-between thing with WarioWare Get It Together. So I hope they have like fully voiced cutscenes this time.
Yeah, I do wonder if it's like, because it seems from what I think, Charles Martinet, like, the reason why he didn't do a lot of voicing in that game is because I don't think he's able to do it very well. I think he was struggling with doing it a bit, because even with the WarioWare Get It Together trailer, you can tell some parts Wario's voice is a little bit iffy, where he's like really trying, but
maybe, I feel like, well, the other voice actors didn't really have that much of, like, a role in, Get It Together either.
but in Get It Together, they actually said words, whereas Wario was just like, wah!
Yeah.
Like, that's it, or like, like, he just had 5, like, lines, so...
Yeah. It was like, it was funny. It was like, either Wario or the other characters were like, what? This? Game? Like, they were just saying random words. They were kind of leaving out a lot of words in the sentences. It was so weird. Like, it was like partially voice acted, but like not entirely. So
like, the trailers were so well done. We're just like,
yeah,
me, Wario, they're my company. You know, it's
yeah,
weird. I don't know why. But then Gold was so well done, so I don't understand. But maybe in this game will be different.
yeah. And one thing that I also hope that they'll do with this is an actual online mode. Well, I mean, Nintendo has been iffy with online, for a lot of games like this that are clearly meant for multiplayer. But I really hope, like, this is the third modern Wario game since Gold. So I really hope that we'll get an actual online mode here. I know it might be laggy, but I'd rather at least have the option to do it, like, with friends, than have, like, nothing at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really hope they have online multiplayer with this. So the next thing, like, the next two things are DLC. So, the last wave of the Mario Kart Booster Course Pass will probably be revealed here. So,
Yes.
yeah, we'll probably get a look at the last two characters, as well as, like, one or two courses that are in this wave.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see the final editions being Madrid Drive. I still think that name's kind of weird. Madrid Drive, like you could come with something else, but okay.
And then also the Rome one.
Yeah, Romavanti and Piranha Plant Cove and Pipeline.
That's gonna be weird to have two.
Pipeline.
That's gonna be weird to have two Piranha Plant themed courses in one wave. It would have been
And
really
it's like-
fitting. It would have been really fitting to have PD Piranha along with that.
Yeah, it's like we have Piranha Plant Pipeway in the game, and then Piranha Plant Pipeline. It's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
go with a different name, like Pipe Extravaganza would be better. I don't like something else. Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
find that very strange. But I mean, characters. I mean, I'm very interested to see who we're gonna get. They're probably gonna reveal both characters, the final ones.
Yeah. I feel like they're probably gonna be ones from Tor. Most likely, or they could throw in like a surprise character that wasn't from Tor yet, like how Wiggler was in the previous wave. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't want to talk about it too much since I feel like I've had a ton of discussions about character speculation for like the Mario Kart Booster Course Pass. But yeah, moving on. One that I kind of want to touch on just a little bit because I don't want to talk too much about Splatoon 3 because, you know, it's Splatoon 3. You don't really have to talk about it that much. But yeah, I think we're probably going to get more information about the Side Order DLC. And I predict that it's going to release in November, the week before Mario RPG launches. I don't think it's going to be on the same day as Mario RPG, as some people are saying, because some people are saying that it will release the same day as the Amiibos, but I don't really think that's going to happen. because there's a full game releasing that day, so I think it's probably gonna release a week before that, since that would be kind of 1 week after WarioWare and then 1 week before Mario RPG.
Yeah.
So yeah, the next one is a new Peach game. Well, the info that we got from the new Peach game that was shown off at the last Direct, and I think that looks pretty interesting, and this is the first one on the list that Pyoro has actually mentioned, because
Like an actual name.
yeah,
Game.
I'm wondering if it's gonna still use the Super Princess Peach naming. Like, I don't think it would be like Super Princess Peach 2. Maybe it would be like New Super Princess Peach, or
I think it's gonna be something to do with, because it seems like the game takes place on a stage. So
yeah, or maybe
I don't know.
Super Princess Peach: The New Adventure, or something like that.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. Like, it'll probably be like Princess Peach's like I don't know.
Princess
have to
Peach-
do it with a stage play. Or
Princess
something.
Peach breaks a leg.
Yeah.
But yeah,
How about Peachy Performance? That's the title there.
Peach in the Spotlight, or something like that. I don't know. It's
It'll be something like that. I don't know. Like it's hard to make.
Maybe it will be like Luigi's Mansion. It will, instead of like Luigi's Mansion, Peach's Theater.
Maybe Princess Peach's magical theater adventure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's gonna be pretty interesting to see. Because it definitely gives me a lot of vibes of like any like. It kind of gives me a little bit of like Nintendo 64 early GameCube era vibes. Like, honestly, this seems like something that would be like the concept of the game, not the game itself. It seems like the concept of this game would be like utilized during like the early GameCube era, because it seems like a very Luigi's Mansion-esque concept. Not like what I mean by that is not like similar to Luigi's Mansion, but like similar to how they're taking a character from the Mario franchise and doing something completely different with them. Almost like Wario Land as well, or WarioWare. So a similar concept to those. So I'm really interested to see what this will be like, and I'm not sure which.
Usual that we see something like this. So
And I'm not sure which developer is actually handling this game. It might be Goodfeel, because it does have a little bit of Yoshi's Island aesthetic to it. It also might be Next Level Games, due to the animations and things. Though, I feel like this game doesn't really strike me that much of like a Next Level game and everything. Like, I feel like they have certain models that they use in like the games developed by Next Level. In the
it
Peach...
could be internal. Like it could
Yeah.
be like one of their internal teams.
Oh, that's definitely possible as well. I think that's, any one of those, I feel like, is definitely possible. We'll just have to see. So, the next thing is another very spicy Pyoro leak. That was the one that kind of blew up all over the internet, earlier, or yesterday, well, not yesterday as of the recording of this video, a few days ago by the time the Direct is announced, but the F-Zero GX port or F-Zero 99, those are the two possibilities of what could possibly happen with whatever F-Zero announcement it will be. So basically, when Pyoro kind of hinted at F-Zero, they basically said like the MATLAB thing, like with the programming language, it just kind of vaguely referenced F-Zero through that. They deconfirmed that it will be a Nintendo Switch Online release. So, and they actually liked a couple tweets that were guessing F-Zero 99 and also said that Pac-Man 99 will be discontinued in 1 month. So what I think will possibly happen is that we'll get like a port of F-Zero GX that has been rumored for quite a while, And then alongside that, just to kind of hype up and bring more attention to F-Zero, they'll also kind of tie that in with F-Zero 99. So what are your thoughts on that?
Liking a lot of tweets that say 99 in the title.
Yeah.
Multiple that he's liked. So I think that's actually very, very, very likely that they do. I think it's actually both. I think you're right. I think they're going to do F-Zero 99 because that might be not difficult for them to do.
Yeah.
And they're going to do F-Zero GX Remaster because, like, I think they could do both of them.
Yeah,
it was
because
rumored that Next Level Games would be doing the remaster of
yeah.
F-Zero GX.
The
And
F-
then if 99 probably is done by, I forget the company that does the other 99 games.
I
but-
forgot that, I'll have to look that up. I know they've done, I think they also did Tetris DS as well.
It's by Arika. They make them.
Okay, yeah.
Arika did Tetris 99, Super Mario Brothers 35, and Pac-Man 99. So F-Zero 99 is very likely.
Yeah.
And I also think that an F-Zero GX Remaster.
They actually-
would be
okay.
likely too.
They actually didn't do Tetris DS. I thought they did for some reason. It was something else that I was thinking of that they developed
Oh.
before the 99 game. Oh, it was Dr. Mario. It was Dr. Mario that they did before.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then they did the one on the Wii as well, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, they did. Also the 3DS and Wii U ones as well. So, they did do quite a lot of different, like,
Yeah, even
Tetris games and puzzle
classics
games.
and stuff.
Yeah, even the 3D Classic series they did. So, I think it's definitely pretty likely that we'll get both the F-Zero GX port and F-Zero 99.
Their last project was, it seems to be the last main project they did themselves was Chocobo GP, so it's been some time since that.
Yeah. And, yeah, with this, I don't think they're just gonna announce F-Zero 99. That would be so random with Nintendo not doing anything with F-Zero in years. And just not even, like, acknowledging it that much.
It might be like the next franchise, I think, to really get somewhere. Because
Yeah.
they did a lot of stuff with Pikmin, where they really tried to bring it to the next level. Metroid as well before that. So I think that this game franchise will actually, they'll try to get it up there. I think they're gonna try.
Yeah, because I don't think that would be a bad idea for Nintendo just to release F-Zero 99 and do nothing else. Like, with no... Because, like, that would have to take, like, a decent, like, I know it probably doesn't take that much effort to make one of the 99 games, but that would be so much... It would still be a lot different than the other 99 games that exist, because it is a racing game compared to either, like, platformers or puzzle games that they've done before. So, it would still be a lot different, and it would make a lot of sense to do it, like, alongside something bigger, rather than just throw it out there as F-Zero 99. Nintendo just pretends to care about F-Zero, and then just, like, leave the GX port out of it. I really feel like they're gonna do a GX port along with this. It's been rumored heavily, and it just feels like the time at this point to kind of do it, since they're bringing back so many GameCube games, ports and everything. So yeah, I definitely think that's possible. And the final thing that's kind of related to the things that Pioro has been tweeting is a Donkey Kong related announcement. So I think that could be one of, like, 3 things here. It could be another thing that I'm not thinking of, but these are, like, the main things. Either an entirely new game, a new Mario vs. Donkey Kong game, or Donkey Kong 64 on Nintendo Switch Online. I think it could be one of those 3 things, but I feel like we're overdue for a new game. It's been since 2014, since Tropical Freeze, which will be 10 years old in a few months. So, I think we're definitely due for a new Donkey Kong game sometime soon. And if it's announced in this and if it's announced in this direct, I think it's probably going to be something saved for the end as like a somewhat pseudo teaser type thing where it does show gameplay and it's not exactly a super teaser thing. It does show like a little bit of the game, kind of like the Luigi's Mansion 3 first trailer.
Do you
But
think this game will be 3D or 2D? Because that 2D rumor was a long while ago. I don't know if that really added up anymore. Because remember that was for
yeah,
a long time, and then nothing happened. It was even rumored like I think I want to say like earlier in 2021 even, right? Was it 2021
yeah.
or late 2021? So I'm really hoping it's a 2D game because that would get people excited. And also, I don't know if they want to do another 2D platformer
Or you mean
directly.
a 3D game? You said a 2D game?
Oh, I was saying like I don't know if they'd want to do another 2D game when Mario Wonder is like coming out soon.
Yeah, and
I
then
don't know if they'd
also
want to showcase that.
they would have a lot of incentive to do a 3D platformer due to the success of both Odyssey and Forgotten Land. Like, Mario Odyssey sold amazingly well. For, like, since 3D Mario, I mean, it's always sold well since it's Mario, but it didn't sell quite as well as, like, New Super Mario Bros. DS and Wii and everything. But Odyssey sold really well. I think it's like close to 30 million. I think it's somewhere between 20 and 30 million. It sold quite a lot. 3D All Stars, even though it was out for a few months, only sold it actually sold 8 million copies, which was really good.
Yeah, honestly, I think for Nintendo in average, they usually sell a lot of physical copies around a few million anyway. Like a lot,
Yeah,
like they sell them around. There's some games that I'm pretty sure, in terms of physical copies, they've sold like even less than 3D All Stars did. So I wonder if like really that's the amount of copies that they would have sold anyways. And
yeah.
like by them, making it like limited time, right? Definitely made people go out and buy it like faster. I do wonder
Yeah.
if that's
And
a good
then
strategy, but yeah.
and then another thing is Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which ended up being the best-selling Kirby game at like over 6 million
Yeah.
copies. So
That's been such a huge success.
there is definitely a big market for 3D platformers. And since I feel like Nintendo wouldn't want to do too many 2D platformers, I feel like the new Donkey Kong game will probably be 3D. But there is a
Yeah, me
possibility
too.
that it won't be a new mainline Donkey Kong game. There's another possibility that it could be a Mario vs. Donkey Kong game. And if they do that,
Be fine, I guess.
I think it could have the potential to actually be pretty good. If it's like actually a return the form and has a similar gameplay style to DK94 or the original Mario vs. Donkey Kong.
I'd honestly prefer a remake of with the Game Boy one. If they could do a remake of the Game Boy one, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, yeah, I would like either that or like a new game with that style and everything. Well, obviously kind of bringing in some new mechanics and things as
Yeah,
well.
because personally, I really liked the first game. I thought it was probably like, it had a lot more of the Donkey Kong DNA, whereas the second one went with a bit more of a different kind of idea.
Yeah,
It's still good, but
The Mario vs. Donkey Kong series is really weird. Because I feel like they really oversaturated that one mini gameplay formula with the mini characters with the puzzle thing. That, like, I don't think they'll do that again. I feel like that's the reason why they haven't made a game in nearly a decade now in
they
that
were making
series.
so many of those. Honestly, those were kind of like their mobile kind of style game, but for some reason, they really just stopped making those all of a sudden. And it really is weird because Mario vs. Donkey Kong was built off of Donkey Kong, and then it turned
Yeah.
into this weird puzzle game thing, which apparently wasn't bad from what I see most people say. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of the gameplay style, it seems that the general consensus is that it's just fine and it exists.
Yeah, and the fact that they kept oversaturating that formula, I feel like not a lot of people are talking about that because it's really weird. Even though these games are fine, it's just super bizarre that there's just a whole series of all of these weird puzzle games that all are like super similar. Like there's like barely any differences between any of these games. Like it's so weird like how many of these released over like the course of like the Wii DS and Wii U era kind of. It's weird. So I don't really think they're gonna do that again. If they bring back that gameplay of like the mini Mario thing, they're probably gonna bring it back into like a side mode or something. But the main game would probably be like a return to form to like the original DK94 or Mario vs. Donkey Kong formula. I feel like that's more realistic, especially due to the fact that like they kind of brought back a lot of elements from Donkey Kong with New Donk City and everything, and then they're also doing everything with the Mario movie with Mario and Donkey Kong interacting. So I think that it's more likely that they'll do a return to form. And then the final thing is Donkey Kong 64 on NSO, which I don't really think is going to be likely here because they haven't even released all of the games for the batch that they announced for Nintendo Switch Online a whole year ago.
And the output has been awful. Like the Game Boy stuff that they added recently was weird. I mean, like they added that Kirby Star Stacker, right?
Yeah.
Nintendo, which was a Japanese exclusive, right? So.
Yeah, and I did think the Joy-Neck fight thing was pretty cool, but
I mean, like some of the additions, but like the Game Boy.
The Game Boy
one.
So
many games to choose from. They had Mario Land 1, Wario Land 2, Wario Land the first one. They could have put like Mario Brothers Deluxe.
Yeah.
So many. There are so many great games on that console.
And then even on the topic of Donkey Kong, DK94.
Yeah, there's
Mole
so much,
Mania.
like, here's a license
Pokemon.
Game.
Yeah.
Here's a license game. Enjoy that.
And it's not even good either. It's like
yeah.
I've played it and it's terrible. Like it's one of those licensed games. Like the ones that you find, like it is literally a bargain bin game here. Like
I see that game for cheap all the time and I'm like, I don't know.
And you know, the funny thing is, it was actually developed by the same company who made Superman 64.
Oh.
Yeah.
That explains it.
I think it's like Titus.
It's like, yeah, Titus. They made a lot of very iffy games. But I just don't know why why would they add that game? Like, or at least add it as a bunch of a bundle. Like, don't make it like one of the flagship Game Boy Color games you're adding.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of what they're doing. I think it's way too slow, and there's so many games to choose from, right? Not even just like, there's so many small hidden games that like, are actually good. Like last time they added Burger Time or something, or the time before that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of choices that they can add of even just good smaller games, even though they're not popular games, but still fun, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know why they just didn't do that again, but again, like, it's gonna be like 300 years until we get everything.
Yeah.
At this pace. Like, at least with the NES stuff, they were actually going a little faster at the beginning.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I kind of want to go into the next topic here with the somewhat likely things. The first one that I have on here is probably, I should have put it in likely, but I was just thinking, I'm not sure where to put this since it is a remake after all, and I'm not really, and it is like one of those remakes that are like not super different from the original game, since it's more of like somewhat of a remaster, but also kind of technically a remake. But the Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon remake, I think it is probably likely that we'll see it here. I think we'll probably get like a trailer for it and a release date. I have a feeling that it will release pretty early in the year due to it being like a remake slash remaster type thing here. Even though the footage did look a bit rough in the first trailer, I feel like it wouldn't take that long to iron that out, because I feel like Next Level might be working on this, and it did kind of look similar to how Battle League did in the first trailer, and they did kind of iron out like the kind of iffy looking models from the first trailer in just a few months. So I have a feeling that the Dark Moon remake will probably be released between January and March, like pretty early in the year, I would say. Maybe like January would actually make a lot of sense, since Nintendo historically has released like remakes around that time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think I think that's probably what you're gonna see. Cause yeah, next level games, right? Even with Luigi's Mansion 3, when we first saw that game, it looked rough, and then later on, it looked like one of the best Switch games. So
yeah,
maybe they showed it to us a little earlier than expected. Maybe it's an earlier build. I don't know, but I really hope that they make heavy improvements to the game. Maybe change anything that they're able to change if they're able to.
yeah,
Maybe they'll even able to heavily change the game. Like if they're gonna go that far, maybe they can make adjustments to make the game feel a bit more natural. Because I know the structure of the game is a little bit unpopular, of how they did it. So if they can make any great quality of life changes to it, I think that'd be a win as well.
yeah. So, moving on, because I don't want to spend too much time on these, but in the somewhat likely, I would say this is more of the somewhat likely like category now. The Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, I would put that in likely. Um, the first somewhat likely one I could see is a Thousand Year Door port. So the reason why I think this makes a lot of sense, even now, with the Mario RPG remake, is because it would actually be a great way to promote the Mario RPG remake if Nintendo is kind of going full on promoting the Mario RPGs and kind of introducing them to newer audiences and everything. So, and it was also kind of rumored heavily alongside the F-Zero GX port, so I think there is somewhat of a chance that these could both be revealed, but like during separate times of the direct. Because Pikmin 1 and 2 were technically two games. And those were both kind of revealed at the last direct. So I think there is a possibility that we could get both F-Zero GX and Thousand Year Door. And with Thousand Year Door, I feel like during the Mario RPG segment, Nintendo could kind of go over the various Mario RPGs you could play on the Switch, or the classic ones you could play on the Switch, like Paper Mario 64 on Nintendo 64 Switch Online, then Superstar Saga on the Game Boy Advance for Switch Online, and then they could say, oh, we have one more game that you can try before Mario RPG, and then it's a port of Thousand Year Door with some small quality of life changes, but probably mostly just the port of the game and everything. I think that's definitely possible that they could do that, especially if it seems like Nintendo is trying to get more people to play these Mario RPGs, because they might be trying to renew more interest in the Mario RPGs. So kind of releasing that as a kind of a promotional thing before the Mario RPG remake, similar to Pikmin 1 and 2, is definitely possible.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea. I mean, it's always good when they shadow drop into games like that.
Yeah. It would be really exciting too, but the only sad part of it would be is that I'd have to play Sticker Star. Because I made a promise that if Thousand Year Door is re-released on Switch, I'd have to play through Sticker Star entirely. But I would be
fun.
I would be ecstatic if a Thousand Year Door port happened. I would be screaming even more than I did with the Mario RPG remake trailer. I'll probably already be screaming during the Mario RPG remake trailer when I see the new characters shown. Well, the new designs for the characters shown off. But I would go, I would go insane if that happened. But I do still think it's likely. In another GameCube port, or I guess I'll kind of mention these since I don't want to spend too much time on them, is Metroid Prime 2 or the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD ports. So, I feel like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, I do think it's going to happen at some point, either for the Switch or the next console, but I think they are probably going to wait until next year to do it, just to kind of have the spotlight shown on Tears of the Kingdom for a little longer. Even though Tears of the Kingdom, they said they don't have any plans on making DLC for the game, I think they're not gonna want to remove the spotlight from that, since usually they only have one Zelda release per year and have been very consistent with that. So I don't think there's gonna be Wind Waker or Twilight Princess this year, though I do think there's definitely a possibility it could happen next year. With Metroid Prime 2, I still think that's also somewhat likely here. Maybe almost as likely as Thousand Year Door. But I think they might wait a little closer to Metroid Prime 4. If we get more information on Metroid Prime 4, maybe we'll get the Metroid Prime 2 port, but I think it's still kind of up in the air for that.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, let's move on to Amiibo. So, Noah and Mio, the Amiibo figures for them was announced back right around the time that the DLC, or the expansion for, Xenoblade 3 released with, Future Redeemed and everything. So, it's been quite a while, and I really think they should show off more information about the Noah and Mio amiibo soon. And I have a feeling that it's probably going to release on the same day that the new Splatoon 3 amiibo figures are going to release. I think that would make a lot of sense. Usually amiibo figures in certain waves are released on the same day. So
Yeah, and even like, when they release a game, they also put the amiibos on the same day too.
yeah. And I'm wondering what they'll do, like, have anything else alongside this amiibo, or any, like, sort of update for Xenoblade 3, is I think there's a possibility that these amiibo figures will, like, unlock something in the game. They have to do something. Like, it's weird, like, they can't just announce them and, like, not really do anything else. There is one thing that I've been wanting from Xenoblade 3 that hasn't been, like, a cosmetic in the game yet, that I'm really surprised hasn't been added yet, and that's the N and M outfits for Noah and Mio. I am really surprised that they haven't added that. I know technically in the game you do have Mio wearing the M outfit, but I think that's only a certain segment of the game, not the full game. So I think it would be really nice if you can unlock the N and M outfits.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool too. I mean, if they're adding the amiibos, they should have some kind of functionality that's unique,
Yeah.
right?
Or maybe
They
even,
update the game with the Pirate Mythra, right? So
yeah, and maybe even something crazier than that. Imagine if, like, these amiibo figures, like, summoned, like Matthew into the base game or something.
yeah,
That would
it'd
be,
be something really cool.
yeah. But, yeah, so that's basically all I have on, like, for somewhat likely announcements. Let's move on to some announcements that are kind of unlikely, but still do have a slight chance. And yeah, I just kind of want to go through these quickly here. So Metroid Prime 4, there is a very slight chance it could happen if they do something similar to DK and make it like a teaser, as I was kind of predicting for what they'll do with Donkey Kong. Maybe a teaser for Metroid Prime 4. And then another thing that they could possibly tease alongside Mario RPG in a similar way to how they teased the Princess Peach game in the Dark Moon remake is a new Paper Mario game. I know, I'm the Paper Mario guy, I have to bring it up along with the Thousand Year Door remaster, but it's been nearly 4 years at this point. I know technically 3 years now since July, but we are getting close to when the next game will be released.
Crazy.
Yeah, it seems like
It
Origami...
doesn't feel like it. But
Yeah, it seemed like
is.
Origami King just released. I just remember just playing through that game for the first time not too long ago. It's crazy. I don't want to dwell on all of the Paper Mario stuff. That's a separate discussion for another day.
Super Paper Mario Association, please don't come after us right now.
Yeah.
We don't need all the Paper Mario
Or the
opinions.
or the toxic Origami King and Thousand Year Door fans, all of those people. We don't need, we don't need that right now. We're not going to dwell on Paper Mario too much, other than the fact that there's a very slight chance that they might show it off just due to the release schedule. Though I don't think it's likely. Well, probably there's a whole slew of things they could do for the next Paper Mario game. Like they might even release it in 2025 and have like Thousand Year Door be like a remaster for like next year or something to hold over the wait toward like until the next Nintendo console. That's a possibility, but we'll just have to see. There's just like anything could go at this point with Paper Mario. We'll just have to see. And another thing that I really want to happen, but there's also like nothing to base it on, is like Pikmin 4 DLC. I really hope this happens. I really hope, since Pikmin 3 did have DLC, I really hope there's like a new area, new Dandori challenges.
I think it'd be probably based on the Dandori challenges, adding way more stuff to it, maybe way more like modes, maybe.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like the stuff like multiplayer, 2-player is not that great. I think it could be a lot better.
Yeah.
I know it's not really. You could tell that the multiplayer stuff was kind of a little extra. Like, they didn't. The main campaign, you can tell, was where all the work went into. Because with Pikmin 3, the campaign's good, but you can tell they put a lot of work into Bingo Battle and the other modes just as much. Whereas in this game, they just focused on the core campaign. So I'm hoping maybe that the DLC can take care of that.
Yeah. And another thing that I hope they add is like maybe some new caves. I think it would be cool to see some new caves as well, like with a new mission or something. You have to retrieve this certain item or something. I don't know. They could maybe bring back the president from Pikmin 2, or even like the like Alf, Charlie, and Brittany from Pikmin 3. So I think that would be cool if they did something like that, since I feel like Pikmin 4 kind of went all out in terms of references to the series, so to see that expanded upon farther with DLC would be really cool. And even like an update for Pikmin 4 that adds like both like actual co-op, like where one player plays as Ochi, the other plays as the captain, and then like online Dandori battles, like as an update. I think that would be really cool. It seems like something Nintendo would do out of left field, but I really want that to happen. It would be really nice to see. But yeah, not very likely, but it would be cool to see it happen. And another thing is a Kid Icarus Uprising remaster. I haven't played Kid Icarus Uprising, but I heard it's really good, and it would be amazing if the game got a second chance on the Switch and everything. But I feel like it's kind of unlikely, because we already have the Dark Moon remake releasing next year, and I don't think there's really too many spots to release many like 3DS remasters within a certain amount of time. So I think that is kind of unlikely, but due to the fact that we have been getting a lot of rumors about it, I do think there's still a slight chance. Though with the thing with Bandai Namco making a remaster, I think that could have been related to Baten Kaitos, with the thing that they were like remastering and everything. But yeah,
Kid Icarus would be cool, but
yeah, I think
I don't think
it might be something that happens like farther down the road, like a year from now or a couple years from now, maybe. But right now, I don't think it's very likely. But yeah, the final thing is, well, it could be something that I already mentioned with the Peach game, but a new Goodfeel game. If Goodfeel isn't developing that new Peach game, I think they could be developing either a new Yoshi game, a new Wario Land game, or something else entirely. Or either like a remake of like a Wario Land game or a Yoshi game or something. I think Goodfeel is cooking something. It might be the Peach game, but it might be something else as well. We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
Though,
I'm really interested to see, like, yeah, like what kind of who are the
yeah,
developers working on the games, right? So we don't know
yeah.
too much about that.
Though there is a possibility that if they aren't developing the Peach game, that Goodfeel, like their next game will be on the Switch too. Or at least a launch title or a game launching close to the launch of the Switch 2. That's partially why I think it's unlikely that we'll get like a Goodfeel game here. I feel like they might wait until the Switch 2 to do something. But yeah, those are pretty much all the predictions I have for now. There's a lot of possibilities for what could happen, even though we do already know about a lot of games. This Direct really is gonna... I know the last Direct kind of was, but this next Direct really is gonna be a turning point for what we're gonna see happens with Nintendo within the next kind of few months to a year here. We'll have to see, are they gearing up for a Switch 2? Are they gonna stick with the Switch for like another year and a half? Who knows? We'll just...
I think we're getting towards the end here. That's
Yeah.
what I really think. I don't think the Switch has too much time left.
Yeah, I do think we'll get some big announcements here, but I think some of them might be small teases, like Donkey Kong, or games that will release both on the Switch and the Switch 2, like as a dual release. And
Yeah,
we'll just like not have...
Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
Like, what would that be like?
Honestly, I think it, like, after this Direct, at some point, it would be nice to make a video about, like, the Switch 2's potential amazing launch, because the Switch 2, with what it's shaping up to be, like, potentially Donkey Kong, potentially Metroid Prime 4, potentially a new 3D Mario, it's really shaping up to be something, amazing with kind of what we've been speculating and everything. And we can't forget Reldo Ramen Warrior and Luigi's Casino. But yeah,
I'm so excited, and Mario movie the game, you know.
and obviously, Odyssey 2 isn't gonna happen because of the moon hunting that they found monotonous. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Make sure to check out my Discord server and Amazon affiliate link if you want to. Goodbye.
Alright, see ya.